When we talk about sugary drinks, most of us picture a sweet little pick-me-up, a refreshing splash of comfort on a hot day, or maybe just the guilty pleasure that helps us get through an afternoon slump. But beneath that fizzy sparkle and syrupy sweetness, researchers are uncovering a very different story, and one that makes these drinks look far less like party guests and more like rowdy intruders who show up uninvited and cause chaos. A new study published in Nature Metabolism has dug into this idea at the cellular level, showing how the sugars in these beverages, specifically fructose and glucose, can actually fuel the spread of colorectal cancer by hijacking the body's biochemistry through an enzyme called SORD. Now, let's make this complex science a little friendlier. Imagine your colon as a house throwing a quiet but lively gathering of friendly cells, all working together to keep things in order. The walls are sturdy, the music is calm, and everyone knows their place. In walks glucose and fructose from that soda you just drank. At first, they look harmless enough, sweet, energetic, maybe even charming. But once inside, they link up with SORD, the enzyme that's supposed to be a responsible host. Instead, under this sugary influence, SORD helps open the back doors, letting cancer cells sneak out of the house and spread the trouble elsewhere. What started as a balanced gathering quickly turns into a noisy, out-of-control afterparty where the wrong crowd takes over. What makes this research striking is not just that it confirms the dangers of excessive sugary beverage consumption, but that it pinpoints the mechanism so clearly. For years, scientists suspected a relationship between sugar and cancer growth, but this study lays out the path in detail. Fructose and glucose create a metabolic environment that enhances cancer cell mobility, giving them the tools to metastasize more efficiently. That's not just another vague warning about too much sugar is bad. It's a precise map of how the process unfolds. And when we understand the map, we can start thinking about better ways to block it. The positive side here is that knowledge empowers prevention. This isn't a hopeless story where sugar is a villain we can't fight. On the contrary, the clarity of this research gives doctors and public health experts a sharper weapon. If we know the pathway, fructose and glucose working with SORD, then future therapies could be designed to disrupt that partnership, making it harder for cancer cells to spread. It also arms everyday people with stronger reasons to make simple lifestyle adjustments, cutting down on sugary drinks, swapping sodas for sparkling water, or reaching for whole fruits instead of processed juices. These little shifts might not just reduce waistlines, they could very well be life-saving. So yes, sugary drinks may act like unwanted guests who barge into the colon's party, but the story doesn't end with them trashing the place forever. Thanks to studies like this, the security team has a much better understanding of how the intruders sneak in and where they cause the most damage. That opens the door to smarter defenses and a healthier balance. In other words, the research is a warning, but it's also a step forward. The more we learn, the less power those rowdy, sugar-loaded guests will have to disrupt the celebration of health happening in our cells.